leadership roles, including president, zone chairperson, cabinet treasurer, district admin, district governor. PDG Tolulope has made significant impact through numerous community development projects, including education, healthcare, and vision care initiatives. He has received multiple awards for his dedication to service, including the Progressive Melvin Jones Fellow, PMJF, 5-star Diamond Fellow of the Nigeria Lions Charity Foundation, NLCF, and the Jesse Robinson Membership Growth Corp. IPDG Tolulope has facilitated trainings across multiple District 404 Nigeria and is a major donor to the LCIF. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Lions and guests, please join me as I welcome our facilitator for today, IPDG Tolulope Shembanjo, PMJF, NLCF. My IPDG, sir.
Thank you so much, dear GLT coordinator, Lion Chielu. Good evening, great Lions, or good morning, good afternoon from wherever across the world you're joining this platform from. I count it an honor and privilege for me to have been invited to come and share from my experience and for us to learn together on how to build stronger communities. I must also appreciate the district governor for District 448, our own faculty emeritus, DG Queen Mary Onu, for also giving me that privilege to be here. And I thank all the Lions that have joined. Those of us that joined early, thank you for being on time. Time management is one thing that we as members of the Lions Club should work on and ensure that we set good examples as Lions in terms of time management. So I'll just go straight into the topic for today. Permit me to share my screen. So today we'll be talking about building stronger communities, particularly looking at a tailored approach to membership engagement and how we can make our membership growth sustainable. You'll agree with me that stronger communities start with stronger clubs, just as mentioned by Lion Joyce in our opening remarks, that for us to have stronger communities as Lions that are known for service to humanity, we should be able to engage our members as soon as they join us. So the objectives for this presentation, which we'll look at the end of this session to see how well we have been able to achieve these objectives. First, we should be able to identify some of the key challenges that affect our membership growth. We should also be able to summarize the importance of engaging new club members in service from the moment they join our association. We will also explore practical strategies to encourage membership involvement. And lastly, we should be able to outline sustainable approaches for long-term success in building stronger communities. So our first task as Lions, and I want everybody to please go to the chat box and please drop a comment. How well do you engage your members in your club, or how, by what means you engage your members, your new members? So for example, a new member walks into your club today. How do you engage such members? So I'll be looking at the chat to see some answers. Please drop your comments in the chat room. How does your club engage its new members? Nobody's typing. I'll call names though. Okay. Lion Abayomi says through WhatsApp messages, and sometimes they also reach out via calls. Okay. How do you engage them? And a further question for Lion Abayomi is, what do you send to them? When you call them, what are you telling them? So I've given us an example. A new member comes to your club meeting for the first time, is interested in joining your club. He has expressed an interest, he likes what you do, and he says, okay, I've decided I want to be a lion, not turning back, not turning back. So how do you engage such lions? Is the only lion by me that's in this meeting? Oh, let me even confirm. Can you all hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, we can,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, thank you. So I'm waiting for your comments. Lion Bridget says a proper welcome by the membership directors, and afterwards we assign a mentor. Very good. You assign a mentor. I want to know this club. Lion Bridget, what club? What club are you from? Lion Dupe Olatunji says pair with an experienced lion during the sitting arrangements, and also the membership chairperson gives a thorough orientation. That's good. Lana Bayami says on the platform, we share materials that can build their interest more in the club. It's also good. Now, Bridget from Lekki Peninsula, thank you. I like the idea of assigning mentors. I'm waiting for just one more comment and then we'll move to the next slide. Okay, Lionel Bong Oluyemi says that they give orientation and then they encourage and invite them to every club activity. Very good. So thank you all, Lions, for your comments. Lion Anita says we try to keep in touch and do follow up by sharing materials, inviting them to district activities and seminars, which is also very good. Thank you. You will all agree with me that membership engagement it's a prerequisite for membership motivation. A member who is not engaged has little chance of being motivated because he just feels that why am I here? That's the question every member that walks through the doors of Lions Club asks. Why am I here? What can I benefit from being a member of this association? And once we are unable to engage them or answer their questions or answer their curiosity, they feel less motivated, and then we can see that most times we lose them. It's interesting to note that as Lions of MD404 Nigeria, we've been able to add so far this year 1,600 members, new members. We have welcomed 1,600. But at the same time, we have also lost 900 members. So we can see that the more we are focusing on Mission 1.5, chartering new clubs, inviting new members to join our association, we are also significantly losing members. And why are they leaving? One of the reasons is because they are less motivated. And if we look at the root cause of the low motivation, is because they were not properly engaged when they joined, or maybe the engagement reduced over time. So this is the reality of most of our clubs, particularly in MD404. After taking a critical look at some of the clubs, thankfully I've been able to administer a few clubs under my district. So at least I have a clear picture of what the reality is in most of our clubs. It is that a small number of members carry most responsibilities. And if we are true to ourselves, we find out that, let's say, a club on paper, we have 20 members, we have 40 members. Most of the time, most of the responsibilities in terms of payment of dues, in terms of attending project activities, in terms of attending meetings, is just a small number of members that we see. Attendance at meeting and project is inconsistent. The reality that we have in MD404 is also that new members often feel lost or underutilized. We have this stereotype of because this person is so good at doing this, let that person keep on doing it. But thankfully for the Lions Club structure that allows for just 1 year of serving as president. So everybody gets the opportunity to also try leadership position. But beyond president, all of us cannot be president at the same time. Every new member should be utilized. So this is the reality we have in clubs today. We have reduced impact and member dissatisfaction. So the current state of our membership engagement, some of the key observations I have noted, is that we have uneven participation among members. Like I mentioned earlier, some giving 100%, while some just giving 20%. We also have limited role clarity for new members. I'm happy that during the um, when people were dropping comments in the chat box, we were talking about orientation. But not all of our clubs in MD404 do carry out these orientations. So most new members do not even know the role they have to pay. We all just ask them, pay your dues, pay your dues. Apart from paying your dues, what is the role of a new member joining a club? Every new member has a role to play in strengthening our communities. We also notice that declining enthusiasm over time. When we welcome them, we are so happy. We've gained one member. We decorate them with pins. We give them certificates. And then the member is also happy. But over time, we fall back to our regular practice. And then the member becomes underutilized, feels less engaged. And then it falls off the radar. Engagement is present, but it is not evenly distributed. So these are some of the challenges that are affecting membership growth and even member participation within our association. First is low member engagement. That cannot be overemphasized. We have low member engagement. Like I mentioned earlier, we keep on using the same people. We realize that, I'm sorry for using this example, probably Flawless is the best graphic designer that we have. And we keep on bombarding Flawless with designing graphics for our events and everything. And then we do not want to try new members to also say, okay, you might not be able to do the work that Flawless is doing, but can you just do this maybe just for meeting notice, not maybe for something that we are branding our association with. We also have poor communication. Most times we drop notices or we drop information on our WhatsApp platform. I'm happy to see that some people also do follow up with phone calls. I was at a training session yesterday for RLI, and we talked about communication in a fast-paced world. And most of the lessons learned there were that look for what works for your club. Ensure that everybody is carried along. Communication has to be two-way. You that are passing the message and the person receiving the message must also understand what is being sent across. We also notice that time constraints, particularly in this side of the world where a lot of things are juggling for your time. People will say that they rather spend their time looking for what would better their lives in terms of financial stability, in terms of feeding their family, rather than putting that same or spending that amount of time with the Lions trying to serve others. So there are time constraints affecting membership growth and even member participation. Most of us do not have so much time to spare for service. Then lastly, we also have lack of recognition. So sometimes the member attends a meeting, and this is just a simple example. And after the meeting, we finish the meeting, the secretary has sent in the minutes of the meeting. We do not even say, thank you for coming for this meeting, thank you for attending this project. Or maybe a member does something, pays his dues on time. How do we recognize them? How do we celebrate little things? Not until they donate to LCIF or they contribute towards their Melvin Jones Fellowship, or maybe the NLCS subscription. Not until those maybe significant contributions, we do not celebrate them, we do not recognize their impact. Let us ensure that the little things as well, we are able to recognize them. So these are some of the challenges that are currently affecting our membership growth and participation. Let me pause here to take comments. If you have noticed any other challenge that is not listed here, please, you can drop it on the chat platform, or you can raise your hand. I can't see any raised hand at the moment, but I'll ask that the GLT coordinator help in recognizing anybody that wishes to speak at this moment, or you can just drop it in the chat platform. I'll take your chat. Are there other challenges that we have noticed in our clubs that is affecting our growth as an association, or that is impacting membership or member participation at our service activity at our meetings?
Not see any raised hand.
Okay, can we drop our comments in the chat room? I'll take one or two. Improper meeting coordination. Thank you, Almighty. Meeting coordination. Also, yesterday, I was at the training I was yesterday. When participants were asked that what would they like to change about the Alliance Club, a lot of people mentioned time management. So, which also feeds into improper meeting coordination. We call a meeting for 2 p.m. We are dragging, we start at 4 p.m. People have things to do with their time. So let us also work on our time management. Lion Tunji, I can see your hand is raised. Lion Tunji. Okay.
Good evening, my Green Lions.
Good evening.
My IPDG Green Lions. My opinion is quite different from what we have been talking about since.
Okay.
Concerning because I noticed that our focus is always on bringing new members.
Yeah.
But have you think of how to retain the old members? Because I believe the devil you know is better than unknown angel.
Yeah.
Most of the time, most of the years, like you said the other time, we encourage, I mean, we invited about 1,000 lions, new lions, and we are losing about 900.
Yeah.
Is it not possible for us to close the back door for the 900? I think if we should focus more on that. There are some lions that, because of their age, because of the head, they cannot attend the meeting anymore. They cannot function anymore. Did the club take steps to visit them? You are talking about the welfare receipt. By the time you visit your old lion, maybe one or two of the family members will love your visitation. You will love your welfare receipt, and we will love to be part of it. And that is a replacement for maybe for his dad or mom or his uncle who cannot actively participate because of one reason or the other. Because most of the time, every year, I will look at the record, district we add 1,000 and they will drop 999. Or at times, even district even drop more than what we had it.
True.
And it is better
Thank you
for us to keep those of us, those of the lions that they've been in the lion for a long time and they know what lions is all about. Because most of the new members, a lot of things are discouraging them, especially when we give them the sweet talk about lionism, and by the time they attend the meeting, they don't meet the expectation. So I believe we should more focus on the retention of members through good welfareism, and at times, okay, in a situation whereby an active members that have been active like 10, 5, like 10 years.
If you are not Lion Tunji, please can you mute your mic?
Somebody who has been active like 5, 10 years in the Lions Club, very active, and so just all of a sudden lost his job, and it was started by all Lions or the club member. What signal? Even though you invited new members, Yoruba used to say that if you want to bury your elder brother, naked and you take along your younger brother, you are telling him how you should be buried.
True.
A reasonable person that see the way you treated an old member because he lost job, because of the health challenge, or because of one reason or the other, which is natural, and you deserted that person, you are sending a wrong signal to that new member that very soon you'll be also be deserted. So we should look
Thank you
at
so
that.
much,
I think
Atunji.
we can
Thank
look
you.
at that angle. We
I
can
agree with
improve our
you.
numbers. Thank you very
I
much.
agree with you, sir. Thank you so much for sharing or shedding more light on membership retention. And you will agree with me that in Nigeria, we do not have a membership growth problem. We have a membership retention problem because year in, year out, we charter new clubs, we invite new members, but we are losing a lot of our members. And just like Lantunji mentioned, is because we are not engaging them. So this topic today is not about new member engagement only. I only started off the presentation by asking Lions to contribute on how they engage new members. Membership engagement is for both new members and even old members. It's even way cheaper to retain our members because they don't have to pay entrance fee. For new Lions, you have to first pay entrance fee. You have to now pay the membership dues. For new clubs, you have to pay charter fees and all of that. But if we are able to keep our existing members, they've already paid the entrance fee. We just need to continue paying, or the members just need to continue paying their membership. So it's even cheaper. It's a better economic decision, economic choice for us as Lions Club members. So today we are talking about membership engagements for both new and for existing members. Poor communication relates to both existing and new members. Managing people's time. I don't want to come to a meeting where we'll first spend the first 2 hours talking about people's ego, trying to address conflict before we now even go into how to serve our communities. So these are some of the challenges we see in clubs that discourage even existing members, whether they are old or young, and new members as well. So these challenges affect all cadres of membership, both existing and new. And it's important that we look at how do we retain our members. First, we need to continue to show empathy, and we'll get to it along this session. So these are some communication gaps that we have been able to identify. First, ineffective information sharing. Like I mentioned earlier, some people just believe once they drop the message on the chat platform, all members are supposed to see it, forgetting that some members have about 100 groups that they belong to, and a lot of information are being passed. And once they skip an information and there's no personal reminder, or they don't feel passionate enough to go through those messages one after the other, then that information is lost. We have to find a way to close this communication gap. Low use of digital platform, missed updates and opportunities, which are captured in my explanation earlier. So firstly, before we address the problem, we need to understand, what do members need? Why do members join Lions Club International? First, they join to network, and we cannot run away from the fact that Lions Club, we have about 1.4 million members currently. And like it's been said across the world, once you join Lions International, automatically you have 1.4 million friends, because wherever you walk into around the world and you identify yourself as a lion or a Leo, you surely get some support from existing Lions within that community. So the opportunity for networking is there. So we also have service to humanity, which is one of the reasons members join our association, so to be able to impact your community. And given today's topic, which is about building stronger communities, one of the reasons why members join Lions International is to serve humanity, and also for personal growth. Most members join to be able to develop themselves, and we have various opportunities. We have various institutes. I'm aware that this is the 10th learning lounge for District 404A3, and they've been doing it from episode 1 up to episode 10. Lions and non-Lions must have been able to pick one or two things that will affect them personally. And what do they need? They need clear roles. You need to identify that this member, this is your role within the association. You are a member of the association, you contribute to the growth of the association, and you contribute to the impact that we make in the community, which is talking about meaningful involvement. We don't just decide at the BOD that, okay, today we want to go and feed some people on the streets, and then we bring it to the club, and then the club cannot even suggest, okay, we need to feed them, but how about we get a safe space so that they won't be stampede? How about so that the project can go smoothly? Giving ideas, but we don't want to hear about those ideas. The board has decided, or the president has decided, and that is what we are going to do. Members need to be involved from the planning stage up to the execution stage. And we also need to consider flexibility. And we'll talk about that further in the slides, where Lions need to improve, or we need to go away from this mindset of this is how we have been doing it. And a lot of Lions Club have that mentality of this is how it has been done since the days of Melvin Jones, and even Melvin Jones cannot change it. But we need to be flexible. We need to move with the trend of the moment. And that is not saying that we should abandon our legacies. Our legacies that still work fine, but those that need to be improved upon, let us ensure that we are flexible enough to embrace innovation. So these are some strategies I would suggest for improvement. The focus areas for clubs should be on membership development, leadership development. We also need to consider service innovation. Don't just say, okay, today we are doing environment project. And I particularly like one of the projects I saw online for District 404A3, where they tapped into the issue of reusable bags in line with environmental protection, which is an innovation. Thank you so much to the district governor and the entire members of District 443 for that service innovation. We also need to focus on community-centered projects. Like my CL will always say, how do you go to an a home for the elderly people and donate Indomie to them? I mean, it doesn't match. We need to ensure that our projects are centered around the community. Involve the community leaders in your project. Imagine you want to install a borehole at a community and you don't involve the community leaders. How will you ensure that that borehole is being powered? Who provides the energy? Who will ensure the safety of the borehole that you have provided for that community? I've had instances where we donated the borehole to a community in Ujudu, and the next day, all of the tank, everything we donated to that community had been removed, and nobody was providing any explanation. That was because we did not involve the community, did not take ownership of that project. So these are some practical solutions that we can start immediately. Once we get back to our club, let us assign clear roles to all members. I know that the board of directors is limited to a few people. We have the membership chairperson, marketing and communications chairperson, service chairperson, LCIF coordinator, Tema, Twister, president, vice president, secretary, treasurer. And these are the few rules that are prescribed by our constitution. But it's not about holding titles. You can decide that for every month, a new member will be the service champion. Maybe not champion, the service champion. We can decide that, oh, for this, every month we'll have a member come to talk to us about anything the member is passionate about. Assign clear roles to members. Let them feel engaged. Let them feel like without them, the club does not exist. Introduce mentorship for new members, which is why I was particularly happy at the beginning of the session where a club talked about providing mentors for new members. Recognize contributions regularly. And this is not only immediate contributions, even past contributions to the club. Recognize it. Maybe this is the charter president of the club and the person is still active. Recognize the contribution. And I'm not saying this to empower charter president as God Almighty of clubs, but just an example that contributions do not have to be immediate contributions. This person has been able to do this for the club in time past, and we are still benefiting from that contribution. Recognize them, celebrate them, then improve communication using digital tools. There are a lot of updates on the WhatsApp platform that allows you to tag a post or pin a post so that people can always have access to it. Let us utilize our digital tools to improve communication. And it's important that leadership takes responsibility to inspire and empower members. The leadership of the club also needs to build a culture of inclusion and encourage accountability. For those that know me, I'm one for accountability. it is important that once somebody gives you 10 naira or 5 naira, you are able to account for that money. And then the person can then give more, and it builds trust. Accountability and transparency is very important, as this is one of the reasons why even members leave. There's no accountability. Nobody knows what you are doing with our dues. You just come up with a budget, and then we see that we are owing dues at LCI, we are owing district dues, but there's no accountability. We do presentations, we are unable to raise funds, but all the funds from the presentation, we are using it to sort out the expenses towards the presentation. I mean, let us encourage accountability. And innovation is key. I was talking about this is how we've been doing it. We need to move away from that mentality, move beyond we've always done it this way. Let us try new things, embrace new ideas and approaches, and then adapt to changing member expectations. People are very busy, and we don't expect people to always have that time. Although most of our meetings are once in a month, even once in a month is a struggle for some of us. Let us see, how do we make it hybrid? We can set up a Zoom link, let one person, maybe the tamer, be in charge of the phone, and then it moves around, and those that can join online will join online. And sometimes we can even convert, say meeting for this month of May will be virtual. So people can save on their transport expenses. Although it is good to always meet physically because of the social camaraderie that comes with meeting physically. But then again, if you know that your members, maybe you call for a meeting and you're only seeing 2 or 3 members, why not try a virtual meeting? And lastly, let us look at how relevant we are in the community. Like I mentioned earlier, focus on real community needs. It's important that you do a community needs assessment before carrying out any service activity, build visible and impactful projects, strengthen community connections, and also relevance increases participation. Once members are aware that this need is important to this community, you will see that members will participate voluntarily. I give you an example. A club in my district carried out a project where they renovated a home economics laboratory for a school. And then on the commission, when the district governor got to that school, we saw the management of the school made requests for some other things that they need in the home economics laboratory. And we saw Lion step up and say, okay, don't worry, I'll provide you with so standard ports, so standard cutleries. And then we were able to have an impact in that project as well. So relevance increases participation. And this is my call to action. Let's build clubs where every member feels valued, every voice is heard, and every effort creates impact. Stronger engagement leads to stronger clubs, and stronger clubs leads to stronger communities. Thank you very much. I hope I've been able to manage my time.
Yes, you have. Thank you so very much, my IPDG. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, time, we have ample time for questions, for comments, and we can use the chat box. We can raise our hands if we want to speak. I'll be monitoring both the chat box and raised hands. Okay. I'm seeing a raised hand. Okay, Lionel Bayomi. Okay, Asiwaju, your hand is raised. Please, you have the floor.
Thank you, my great land leader, ma'am. I am Lionel Bayomi. Okay, Asiwaju. Okay. Thank you very much. I send
Thank you.
I send great courtesy to our facilitator, IPDG Tolulope Sembajo. Thank you very much, and of course, to you too, ma, for bringing this training to us at this moment. Now, I followed through, and I can confess that this is indeed a fantastic presentation. However, my concern is that for a club that is a voluntary organization, can't people be self-motivated to, run the show without having existing members invest so much into retaining, sustaining, and membership retention, as the case may be? Because since it's a volunteering or a voluntary organization, anyone who joins should know that he or she is to serve with all the 3 T's or even the 5 T's, and the interests should be the motivating factor, and they should be self-motivated without having to invest so much in getting to retain them. Is that not possible?
Okay, thank you so much for that question. I agree with you that normally, once you have declared interest to join an association, you don't need any extra motivation. I mean, there are clubs like Ikoyi Club, Lagos Country Club, that even you have to beg to get into those organizations. But for us, we are the ones begging members to come and join us. And I'll be honest with you, it's because as an association, we have not built up ourselves. We have not provided value enough. The value we sell basically is, okay, you serve humanity, you serve, you also have the opportunity to network, which is great value in itself. But most of the members that have joined us over time have not been able to improve on that standard that the association is meant to present or buttress to intending new members. So once a new member comes in and they are not seeing that value and they are seeing a lot of bickering, a lot of backbiting among ourselves, and they feel like this is what the association really is. So most times we have to work harder to now convince them that, oh no, this is not who we are, this is who we are, let's engage them, let's rub their ego so that they can stay, which is what we are doing currently. But I pray that as an association, we will get to a level where we will be screening members that, okay, this is the kind of members we want to accept into our association. And people will be queuing at the door to say, oh, this association offers a lot of value. It helps me, it builds me personally, and I feel a sense of connection to the values of the association. Once we get to that level, we'll see that we'll not have trouble about sustaining people's interest in the association. But at the moment, it's something we can work on. I hope I'm able to answer the question, sir.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely, sir. So, just like you have submitted, so what are the things that we need to now do? What are the systems that we need to put in place? Like you have mentioned, the Ikoyi Club of this world, the Island Club, these are clubs that train people that you cannot just come into the club and, even if you have the money and everything, they will still have to do background check and everything. So when you get in, you know that it's highly competitive and you just want to give in your best. So what can we do as a voluntary organization, as a service organization, to create that standard or that kind of values that will make us to be more attractive to people and without having to do so much more to retain them?
Thank you so much. One of the steps in the right direction is this platform that we have this evening, training ourselves, discussing amongst ourselves, seeing how we can improve on ourselves. And I kid you not, for me personally, I've had the opportunity to invite some of my friends in the corporate organization to come and even see, okay, this is how we are as Lions. And they just laugh at me at the end of the day and say, well, Tolu, now you get passion for all this kind of thing because you have been doing it since when you were younger, which obviously is an added advantage for me because I started very early. But for them, they don't really understand that this is what we do. We just sit down. Somebody will be reading reports. They will argue. At the end of the day, we'll close, we'll adjourn the meeting. They don't see the value. One of the steps in the right direction is us training ourselves. Let's take this information back to our clubs. The club is just an entity on its own without the members. And what I'm trying to say is that we are the one that makes the club. It's our behavior that reflects on who we are as Lions. So once we are able to give that proper orientation to Lions and let Lions begin to see a bigger picture of what this association could represent for us in this part of the world. And let Lions begin to see the value, the impact we can create by making our association a standard association. There's nothing stopping the governor of any state from saying, I want to belong to an association such as the Lions Club. We do good, we serve humanity, we train, we have opportunities for personal development. But because of a few bad eggs amongst us, and not only individuals, I'm saying there are some clubs that the totality of the people in the club are bad eggs combined and are rubbing off that bad eggs on us that are still trying to do good. So once we begin to have this orientation, go into our clubs, change our mindsets at our conventions, let us also reenact these mindsets in the minds of all Lions. And from time immemorial, you can't have a perfect 12. There will always be one but if we can minimize it to the barest minimum, I think we'll have an headway in positioning our association.
Thank you very much, my IPDG. I have another hand up. I also have some questions in the chat box. So maybe let's take Leo Lion Olude Fumilayo first. Please go ahead and speak, and then we'll take the comments in the chat box. Lion Olude, please.
Okay.
Are you there, please? Okay. She appears not ready. So let's take some
Lionism.
We said.
In Lionism.
We said.
Thank you so much, IPDG Tolu, for the presentation. This is wonderful. What I just want to say, I don't know if it's a question or is a contribution, but I just see that what is happening presently is that the present Lion leaders, some individuals, we are going against what we are preaching.
If I meet you, then you not like it.
What we are preaching, love outside, but within us, there is the love is missing. We are telling people we are putting smile in the face of the needy, but we as an individual, as a member within that club, some people are sitting on others. And this is discouraging to some people that does not have the knowledge of what Lionism is all about. So they feel if you don't have enough money, if you don't have people that can back you up, if you are going down to join a Lions Club, they are going to wreck you down, or you are going to be voiceless. And this is a club that's supposed to speak for individual. We say we are voice for the voiceless. But amidst our members, we are closing, we are shutting down some individual voice. We don't want them to grow. So it only takes the grace of God for some individuals to stand back on their feet. So if Lions leaders can help us look into this case, it's not everybody that is qualified to be called a guiding lion. There are some even leadership roles that is not even every individual line that's supposed to be there. Some people are not qualified for that post. So if they can help us to educate them, because I believe that a knowledge lion is a better lion. That you being in a particular position or being opportune to hold a key post does not mean you should shut down or look down on your members. So members, as you have said earlier, they feel there's lack of communication, they feel they are not relevant, they feel that their voice are not being held. All fingers are not equal, everybody is paying their dues, but we might not pay it at the same time. But that doesn't mean you should be shutting some people down, you should be telling some people they are not up to the task. This is discouraging. Okay. Leaders can help us look into this so that they won't discourage the upcoming Lions and the new Lions that they are coming, even some existing members. If you can help us look into this. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for the question. I think this is talking to leadership, saying that some leaders abuse the position of power, and then they talk down on fellow lion. I used to say that the only difference between myself and the international president is that the international president holds the position of international president. We pay the same lions dues of about $50 annually. But that does not mean that as lions, we should not give honor to leadership positions. We have elected them to that position. Fine. Respect is also reciprocal. So as leaders, the more lions are giving you that respect, they're giving you that accolade, you also to reciprocate by respecting their opinions and views. It's not enough to say that because I'm now the president, I'm now the secretary, I have the power to talk down on lions and even leos, which is one thing I fought against sometimes, I think 4 or 5 years ago, the way leos were being treated and leo lions were being treated generally. And I thank God that we have been able to achieve some milestone in that regard. But leaders should also should know that they have a responsibility or a duty of care to also respect fellow lions. And we'll continue to speak out, we'll continue to share our voices towards this. Thank you for that observation, Leo Lion from Lions.
Okay, thank you so much, my IPDG. So there's a comment from Moritala Akinleye, and he says, thank you, sir, my great IPDG and great lion leaders. I learned new things. Most importantly, I learned that retention of members is more economical than recruiting new ones. That's correct. Lion Obadimeji says, on membership retention, what can we do in a situation where we have many old members that have not been paying their dues regularly for years, and Oak Brook is charging clubs on their names?
Okay, thank you very much, Lion Obadimeji, who I recognize as being one of my participants at one of the institutes. Thank you for that question. For me, the textbook answer that I will have given you is that find a way to get new members, replace. Once you drop, you replace. So if they are not paying their dues, the textbook answer I will give you today is replace them by looking out for new members. And we all know that looking out for new members to pay dues is not an easy task. I'm sure your district governor, everybody will drive you to say, let us recruit new members. But it's not an easy task. And then if they pay in the first year, what's the assurance that they'll pay in the coming years? But the reality is that that is what we must do. If your old members have stopped paying dues, you need to develop a plan to say, okay, we have 10 old members that are not paying dues anymore, and we need to let them go. Is there a system where we can reduce it by two every year? So we say this year, let's give ourselves a target of adding 2 new members and dropping 2 of these old members. And then we have it for like 3 or 5 years, and then we're able to replace them. And in doing so, let us ensure that we do not create another problem for ourselves by just adding new members, and in the second year, they also become non-due paying. But it's important to have a plan. Fine, you need to remove them, but also ensure that you replace them. Thank you.
Okay. I have another comment that says, I completely agree with Lion Olude. We should mean what we say and always say what we mean. Most people we know are not lions today because of us, lions. We have to be intentional about changing this.
I agree completely. Lions are the problem of lions.
Oh, that's from Lion Obilo.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm seeing more of compliments. We need questions. Please throw your questions at IPDG. He's waiting to take your questions. Impactful session. Great, my IPDG. Quite interesting. Thank you. This is fantastic. Okay, so we need the questions. Please bring them on.
I also see
Thank
my
you.
lion leader here, my past council chairperson, Anno Ayahu, who can also
Yes.
assist me.
Yes.
I recognize you, sir.
Thank you, my RPDG. I joined a bit late, but your presentation was spot on. I hope you favor us with your presentation. However,
Thank you, sir.
I'd like to really be a bit practical. When I served as governor, I used the team Love and Respect. When I served as MCC, I used the team Love and Respect. And why did I do that? In the course of my career, I had an encounter with a customer once. And he told me that, listen, that for everything in life that people do, there has to be something in it for them. That something in it for them can be money, it can be ego massage, it can be networking, it can even be snob appeal. So, in other words, whatever we do as lions, we have to determine exactly what is in it for us as individual lions. I remember taking one of the courses in the Lions Learn platform, and it was talking about why people join clubs. I think it was a role play. So, and he gave an illustration of somebody who joined the Lions Club because he lost somebody to cancer. And there was going to be a project in the club. And while he was insisting on a project on cancer, they assigned him to a project in diabetes, and he felt disappointed. Now, if the leaders in the club notice the disappointment, they can approach him to say, why are you disappointed and all that. So, but what was in it for him was the fact that he saw a club that focuses on the thing that caused the death of his relation. And he thought, oh, okay, this is an avenue for me to do that service. There are also a lot of people who are in the Lions Club today because they have lost one person or the other to diabetes. So for such people, their interest in Lionism is to make sure that those causes are being served. There are also some people who are in the Lions Club for snob appeal. They want to belong to a club that is elevated, that is difficult for other people to join. You mentioned Island Club, Ikoyi Club, and all those other clubs. And you find out that even for such high-end clubs, sometimes you lose interest for one reason or the other. And then if you have need again, you go back. So the point I'm making is that we must ensure in all our clubs, and the Lions movement starts from the club. So we must ensure in all our clubs that what we do in the clubs satisfy yearning needs of our members. Some people are looking for friendship. Some people are looking for opportunities to serve. Some people are looking for a place they can see love. Some people are looking for a place they can relate with others. So we must ensure that in each club, and I'm talking about the club level, that at the club level, we should ensure that we create love so that those looking in from outside will see value. And then also, when they come in and have that first encounter, they don't get put off. I was laughing when you were talking about some of your colleagues. You invite them to the club, and then they sit down, and after they don't see us finish, they will just be wondering, what's Tolu doing here? What's Arnold doing here? You understand? So we must also create that environment that when people encounter us for the first time, they feel that, oh, this is the place I need to be. And this is without prejudice to all the other things you talked about, community relevance, doing projects that endear the community to you. When you do projects that endear the community to you, members of such communities will like to come in. Finally, we must also deliberately ensure that we target, when we're looking for new members, we must deliberately ensure that we target new members who can pay their annual dues. Because of Africa, what do we call it? Africa target, Africa something. We went out there and did forum. Everybody come inside. We have Africa Constitutional Area now. So we must begin to rebuild each and every club with people who are capable of paying their dues. So I thank you for a very beautiful presentation. Please favor me with your presentation. But each and every one of us Lions must look out for fellow Lions, create avenues for interaction, create avenues for love. And why am I emphasizing this? I was in my club for close to 32 years. And in those 32 years, there was only 2 or 3 club members that I knew where they lived. And that was Lion Ladi, Lion Rotume, and the late PG Adedoyin. It was from 2020, when I was running for second vice district governor, that I had the opportunity of visiting other Lions. When I saw that, you have been in this club 30 years. You don't know where anybody lives. I've not attended any of your members' naming ceremonies or their children marrying. So what's the essence of being in a Lions Club? So we must become more and more conscious and treat each other nicely. Thank you, my IPDG, and thank you, my DG, and all fellow Lions.
Thank you so much, sir. I have more comments. I have a question and then, no, 2 questions. The first one says, at what point do we know that it's time to drop a non-paying member who shows up at meetings like once or twice a year, but has stopped paying dues for nearly 3 years? Maybe I should take the second one so you now address both at the same time. My IPDG, what do you think? I hope he hasn't.
You can take both questions.
Both questions.
At what point do you want to drop a new member, a non-paying member? Yes. Second one.
The second one says we serve others a lot, that we sometimes forget that we are capable of being in need, which in turn affects membership sustainability. That's a comment. That's what we have. So you can speak to the second comment.
Hello, ma, can you hear me? I was speaking. I didn't know
I can now hear you. I wasn't hearing you before now.
I was saying that for non-paying members, according to the Constitution, you have to be a due pay member to be an active member registered with LCI. But given the peculiarity of our situation as Lions in Nigeria, we need to consider a lot of factors. Are these lions be paying dues before now? What is the economic situation of this particular lion? Is it that he's not interested, or is interested but he doesn't have the ability at the moment to pay? We'll look at a lot of factors before we now decide that, okay, we want to drop a particular lion. So I think it's not a straightforward answer to say, oh, if this lion is not paying, drop him. We need to consider a lot of factors. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, do we have more questions? I can't see more. I also can't see any more hands raised. Please, the attendance has been dropped in the chat box. Kindly fill out the attendance. Please fill out the attendance. My IPDG, I'm really grateful that you took time to honor this request to come be with us. I would want to invite our District Cabinet Secretary, Lion Ahmed Ajayi, to give a vote of thanks and also give recognitions where necessary. However, may I please plead with every participant to turn on our cameras, because we would like to take snapshots of the attendance as well. But the attendance link had been dropped in the chat box. Kindly fill out the attendance while we take our photographs. Lion Henry, are you ready? Lion Franklin, are you there? I can't see you, Franklin. So Lion Henry, you let us know when you're done. Lion Mighty, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
You know you are Lion Mighty, not just Lion Ahmed.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I think you can go ahead and be giving the vote of thanks while the snapshots are happening. But I can still see too many people without cameras on. Please, I am begging.
That's because you disabled the video. I can't sign on to video.
I'm so sorry, sir. How?
I don't know. I tried to sign on video.
How? It's not possible.
Well, that's what they're telling me, that I'm
sorry about that, sir.
I'm disabled by the...
Sorry about that, sir.
No problem.
Okay, yeah, I'm seeing more cameras come. There are still so many not on. Please, Great Lions, my wonderful guests, please, could you turn on your cameras? Thank you. Thank you to everyone that has turned on. Lion Tosi, thank you. Lion Imobog, thank you. Okay, thank you, everyone. Lion Bola, return on your camera. My DCT, your camera is still not on. Okay. Lion
I am not in a conducive environment. My apologies, please.
Okay. So it's cheaper not to turn it on, I understand. How are you, sir?
Yeah, it's Lion Lebwale Akisoya.
Yeah, but you did not rename your device. So I'm seeing Samsung SM something.
The charter president of the Motaya Lions Club.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much for joining, sir. Okay, Lion Mighty, are we ready?
Yes, ma'am.
You have the floor, please. Thank you.
All right, thank you, my GLT.
for the wonderful work you have put together since the inception of this Lions here, and for bringing the erudite facilitators from the beginning. Let me also acknowledge the presence and active participation of our revered PCC Ano Ayam. I used to call him Babaiwe. That is father of children. You are most welcome, sir. And all the distinguished Lion here presence. Let me use this avenue to sincerely appreciate all Lions here present, our leaders, Leos, club president, everybody for participating in the 10th edition of our Lion Learning Lounge on behalf of our district governor, Lion Queen Mary Ono. And also our special appreciation to our Google, the IPDG, Lion Tolulokwe Shebanjo. I sincerely appreciate you for your presentation. We all know that today's session has been both insightful and inspiring. And when I saw the flyer, I know that I'm going back home with so many things, so many new things. And we are deeply grateful to your presentation on behalf of our district governor. And also to all our participants. We have learned so many things tonight. And as we live here today, let us ensure that we take action. One thing is to organize. Another thing is to attend. And the final step is to take to action of all what we've learned. So as we are living here today, let us go back home and practicalize what we have learned. The heart of our session is membership. And when membership are not valued, the club is nowhere to be found. And from what our facilitator has put together tonight, he said we must value our members. Every voice must be heard, and we must embrace innovation. So let us take all this back to our various clubs. And I know if we can all apply all these things, we have a very meaningful and active club. So once again, on behalf of my district governor, Lion Queen Mary Ono, I want to sincerely thank you and appreciate you for active participation. God bless you all. Leonism.
We said. Thank you so much, Lion Ahmed. And thank you everyone for being part of this. Please, just another reminder that you complete the attendance. The link is in the chat box. Please try and fill it out. It won't take more than a minute to fill it out. So try and fill it out. If you have any challenges with filling it out, please let us know. Yeah, Lionel, thanks. Thank you for sharing the attendance again. Thank you so much, everyone. My IPDG, God bless you. Thank you so much. My PCC, Ano, thank you.
Thank you.
You're always very supportive. Thank you.
And thank you, IPDG Tolu, and thank you, my great Lions.
Thank you, sir.
I'm really honored to be with you. And I urge all of us that together we will work hard to make our Lions International and multiple district 404 Nigeria the pride of Africa that it continues to be. Times are tougher, but we are also tougher, so we will overcome. And thanks for all the effort. Lion Joyce, nice to see you.
I'm keeping malice with you, sir.
And thanks for all that you do.
You have abandoned me. You have not responded to my messages. We're going to court.
I know I'm owing you greatly. I've been under a lot of tremendous stress, but
good
I'm
to
getting
see
over
you, sir.
it. Thank you
Good
so
to
much,
see you, sir. Yeah.
Thank you, Lions. So we will all see in Asaba.
Absolutely.
God willing.
By God's grace, yeah. Thank you very much, IPGG. Thank you, JLT. And good to see everyone. Lana Defila, good to see you too. Oh, you're muted, sir. I see you're speaking, Lana Defila, but you're muted.
You will need to unmute.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's unmuted. Good to see you, sir. Your audio is, we can't hear you. Okay, thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Have a restful night. And please join our next session.